Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on prismatic right angle weave, which is a mouthful, but really not much different than cubic right angle weave. And so it's, if you know PRAW, then this will be, a natural next step for you. And the reason I love this so much, and here I'll pull them off, is I love this stitch so much is because you get maximum payoff from just one stitch and just changing the colors and bead sizes. So if you look at them there, it's a bangle and it's really beautiful just as it is. I mean, just two different beads here, 3mm pearls and a 2mm Druk bead. Just change the size here so you can get a whole different look by changing the colors and the sizes of beads that you use. So I'm going to clear the decks here. Oh, and I just want to show you one more thing. What about a little prismatic right angle weave bead? So here I made a little bead. I only made one, but how cool is that? I can see that on a leather cord and then maybe hang something from it. So this is a very versatile stitch. As I said, if you know PRAW, then come on back, and if you don't, come back anyway. This is just really worth a try, even if you're a beginner. So come on back and we'll get a materials list going. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So if you want to recreate one of these bangles, you need a 3mm pearl, a 2mm Druk bead, and for those of you who have been asking about it on Facebook, it's a Czech Druk bead, and that's D-R-U-K, and most bead websites have them. Aura crystals, Eureka crystals, fusion beads, art beads. You can really find them anywhere. I really encourage you to try this bead. It's a wonderful little accent bead. Okay, here are the 3mm. If you want to do the accent bit here, and here, you need a 4mm, little stop bead, size 11 beading needle. I'm using Nozue Sonoko thread here. This is a wonderful thread for bangles. It's very flexible, stretches a little bit. It doesn't feel like it when you're working with it, but when you're done, the bangle has some give to it, so it's much easier to get on and you're less likely to break it. All right, so that's so you can actually use your Wildfire, your Fireline. I just find that this is the best thread to work with. It's a little difficult to get used to, but I would encourage you here to try this thread and not to give up on it, to keep trying and master it because it's so helpful for bangles. Okay, if you don't have these beads, you can pick any beads that you have. If you're just practicing, just pick any beads, and you can just do it that way, just to get the stitch down. But if you want to recreate this, these are the beads I used. All right, so gather up your materials and we'll get started. So let's start. So thread your needle with as much thread as you can comfortably work with, because you're going to have to add thread. This is a very thread-thirsty stitch. Put a little stop bead on, leave enough of a tail to sew in. So I have on my needle 6 3mm pearls. I'm going to drop those down to my stop bead. I'm going to make this into a circle. I'm going to sew through all the beads. Just come on around. Come past your stop bead by a couple of beads. Doesn't really matter how many. Just like that. I'm just going to move a little bit more just to get the tail out of my way. Okay. So here I am, coming out of the top of a 3mm. We'll pull in a bit. Okay. Pick up a 2mm, a 3mm, and a 2. Coming out of here, so come around to make a unit. Advance your needle through the next pearl. Just like that. Let's see if I can get my lights a little better. Okay. Pick up a 2 and a 3. Coming out of here, come back through this 2 and the 3, just like that, to put on another unit. Advance your needle next pearl. Just like that. Pick up a 2mm and a 3mm, coming out of here, come through this 2, back through this 3, just like that. Advance through the next pearl. So if I hold them straight up like that, it's like cubic right angle weave, right? So you're making walls on the side of this round, the circle of beads. We're just keeping it flat at the moment. Pick up a 2mm and a 3mm, coming out of here, come back through this 2 and through the 3. Just like that. Advance through the next pearl. Just like that. Oops, get myself straight here. There we go. So here we are. It doesn't look like pretty already, just flat. That could be something interesting to explore. Pick up a 2 and a 3. Coming out of here, come back through this 2mm and this 3mm, just like that. Okay, so these are just building walls on the sides of all of the 6 3mm pearls you originally put on. Right, so I have 5 beads on now. So all I need is one more right here. So actually I'm going to push the walls up a little. See that? So we just need to add a bead here, a pearl. So I'm coming out of here. I'm just going to come up through this one. Across through this one. If I can get it, there we go. I'm going to pick up a pearl. I'm going to come through, so I'll try to push these together. So here are my 3 beads. I'm going to come through this one. It's going to put on number 4, just like that. I'm going to come up through this side pearl. Across the top pearl, just like that. And then I'm going to rotate the piece towards me, and I'm going to come through this pearl. This is getting me out to the outside pearls now. So this is what you have. This is your cylinder. Now what you have to do is you have to sew all these beads together on the top. You have to connect them. So coming out of this one, just sew through all of them. You'll be able to hold yours a little bit tighter. So just come around. Make sure everybody's connected. And you'll be able to tell because there'll be you need to have a thread in between each one. So come around. Just like that. And now all my beads are connected. And this is what I have. And this is what we're going to build off of. So get to this point and then meet me back here and we'll continue. See you in a minute. Okay, so let's continue. So here I'm coming out. Here's my base coming out of a 3mm. Pick up a 2mm, a 3, and a 2. You're coming out of here, just come around, just like that. Rotate the piece towards you, come up the next bead, just like that. Pick up a 2mm and a 3mm. Coming out of here, come through this one, and then this one, just like that. Rotate the piece towards you, come up the next bead. And if this sounds familiar, then you've done cubic right angle weave with me before. 2mm and a 3. Coming out of here, come through this one, come up through this one, rotate, come through this one, pick up a 2 and a 3, coming out of here, come through this one, up through this one, rotate, come through this one, pick up a 2 and a 3, coming out of here, come through this one, come up through this one, rotate, come up through this one. Now we just have one bead to add. Come through this one, pick up a 3mm, come through this one, just like that. Come up through this one, come across the top bead, this 2mm, just like that. Rotate, come through this one, and then you just want to sew all these guys together. So just come around and connect them. Just like that. And there you have it. So you've got your first 3 rounds on. Okay, so get to that point and then meet me back here and we'll put on the 4mm beads, okay, to make that accent row. All right, see you in a few. Okay, so we're just going to do this sort of this little accent bead here. So pick up a 2, and I'm using a 4mm and the 2mm. Doing the same exact thing, we're just going to do one row using a 4mm. So just like that. Rotate, come through the next bead. Pick up a 2 and a 4, just like that. Come through this one, come up through this one, rotate, pass through the next bead. Pick up a 2 and a 4, come through this one, and you could just come through this one also at the same time. If you're feeling, you know, daring, and then pass through the next one. Pick up a 2 and a 4, come through this one and this one. Put that one on. Pass through the next one. Pick up a 2mm and a 4. Come through this one. Come through this one. Rotate. Come through that. 3mm, come through the top bead, pick up a 4, come through this one, to secure that last bead, come through this one, the top one, and now attach all your beads by sewing through all of them. There we go. Okay. So now you have on that little accent bead. So what you can do at this point is you can continue on, go back to your 3mm. So I've done 3 3mm beads, then I did a 4, and then I put on 3 again, 3 rounds of 3 of the 3mm, and then I did a 4, and I did that all the way around. So just to show you what it looks like. So this is a piece that I was working on. So here I have 3, and then the 4mm, 3, and then the 4, doing the exact same thing, just changing the bead size. You can do any combination you want. So now, as far as bracelet size, so we're just going to keep doing this until you get your size. So as far as bracelet size goes, I took my bracelet size, and I was looking, I thought I had a bracelet. So I took this bracelet out of my jewelry box, and not my wrist size, I'm using my bracelet size. So my bracelet size is about, when I clasp this, it's about 7 inches. So I made my bangle, I made the strip about 8 1/4 inches to fit, to fit like a 7-inch bracelet fits on me. Not my wrist size, my bracelet size. Now using the Nozue Sonoko thread, you can do it a little bit on the smaller side, and it will sort of stretch a little bit and go over your, over this part of your hand easy. So this is about 8 1/4, 8 1/4. If you're using Fireline, then you really want to make it exact, or bigger. You want to make sure it's going to fit over here, because if it doesn't, you're never going to get it on. So just make sure that as you're doing it, so here I have a piece here, that you're constantly holding it around until, those pieces just about touch if you're using Wildfire or Fireline. Even the Nozue Sonoko, it's a little more forgiving because it's stretchy. All right, so if you're doing this one with the accent bead, this is how you want to end it. You want one side is just going to have the 4mm pearls, and the other side is going to have the 3. You will always end this way, and the way we're going to put it together is we're going to add this little 2mm in, to connect them. So this is what you want it to, the 2 ends to look like if you're doing the one with the embellishment. If you're not, it's just both ends are just going to look like this. All right, so go have fun, play. It's really, once you get it, it's really a lot of fun, and it goes pretty fast, actually. All right, so get that done, and then meet me back here, and we'll sew it together. So I'm going to make a mini bangle. So here I have my piece. These are my ends, and remember, if you're doing the one with the accent bead, just make sure that the 4mm is on one end and the 3 is on the other. And you have 3 in between, just like that, okay? This is what we're going to do. So hold your piece so that your beads are lined up, just like that. See that? So getting the first one on is the biggest thing. Once you get that one on, then you're fine. Okay, so I'm just going to hold it like this. I'm coming out of you have to be coming out of a 3mm, just like that. Pick up the 2mm. Right, so here, see if I can come in super tight on this. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is put my 2mm in between these 3s. So I'm coming out of here, just picking up a 2mm. I'm going to come up through this bead. just like that. Pick up another 2. I'm gonna come back down this one. So when I hold it together, you see what's gonna happen? It's just putting on the 2 beads in between. So then I'm gonna turn it this way. See if I can hold this. Okay. I'm gonna come through this one. I'm just going to stay at right angles like that. I'm going to come through this one. I don't know if I'm helping by trying to hold it this wonky way, but like that. So I'm just working my way around to put on another bead. I'm going to pick up a 2mm, come back through this one. See? And that attaches that. Coming around again. This one. This one. Just like that. I'm going to come through this one. I'm just going at right angles. Just like that. Now I want to connect these underneath. Come through this one, staying up, doing all my right angles. Pick up a 2. I come through this one. Just like that. I think I got 2 on there. Hold on. Let me just take one of these off. Okay. So let's get back to where we were. So here I am. Let me just back off a bit. My camera's yelling at me. So here I have the 2mm, so I'm coming out of here. I'm just going to come up through this one. Just like that. Just going to go around like that. So just keep going around at right angles and you'll get them all sewn on correctly. Okay, so here I am. I've come all the way around and now I'm just going to twirl my piece. You see how that's open right there? Okay, so let's do the next one. I just moved it around, you know, I kind of twirled it around so I could get to that part. Okay, so here I am. Okay, just like that. I'm going to come through this one. Okay, just like that. I'm going to pick up a 2. Come through this one. Just like that. That's going to put my last bead on. And when I pull it tight, that's what it looks like. Now you want to come around these beads again. Here. Here. There's no way to put these on wrong. If you put them on wrong, you're going to notice it immediately. I know it's hard to see, you know, where I'm going, but you'll see it. You're just going all in right angles just to get that last group of beads on. Okay, just like that. Okay, and now I'm just going, you can just, at this point, you can just sew around all your beads. So I'm just going to go around like that. And you know, you can reinforce in a couple of spots and, you know, and then tie a couple of half-hitch knots. But do you see how we're all sewn together now? And now we're like one continuous circle. Okay, well, let's take a look at our bangles. All right, now that we're done, so we have our baby bangle here. Here are the mega bangles. This was a really, really fun stitch. I think you're going to love it as you learn it. You can, this one has 5 beads around the circle. These are 6. So you can really change the number of beads. I think 6 or 5 make, 6 especially, makes a nice chunky bangle. All right, so there we go. Here's our little bead. Here's our beginning of our other, of another bracelet. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you play with this and practice a lot and make these bangles. They're so much fun. Try the 2mm Druk beads. Try the Nozue Sonoko thread. Really get used to using that thread because it's going to open up a whole new world to you. Really will. All right, so take care and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.